Hello, everyone. This is Griffin G Dog, and welcome to another episode of me talking about Fusion World Friday, whenever I remember to upload that video. Now, I just got back from my trip to Orlando, where I had a pretty good run. I got my Nats qualification at this event. So I'm very happy, and I'm very excited to see anyone at Nats sometime in December, whenever that is. Now, you may notice I don't have a serial in front of me. That's because I got 17th place, and the invite passed down to me. Now, I'll talk about that more a little bit towards the end, but I have my Nats qualification. I got it in the app today. Here is the top 32 energy marker for that they give out. This is beautiful, and I will treasure it forever until I have a second one, and maybe I'll sell the second one. I will be attending many store champs this year to make up for what happened to me this weekend. However, this is beautiful, and not to diminish my games at all, but, I did the best I could, and sometimes luck's not on your side. But we got there. We'll be at Nats, and I'm very excited for that. So this is my deck. Let's put this away. This is the deck that I took that brought me to a 5-2 victory. I'm very happy with this performance. Nice gold leader here. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, this isn't anything too crazy. I know this deck has won all but one or two events this format, so I won't spend too long, glorifying. It's like, play this deck. Everyone knows to play this deck. But there are some decisions that me and my, I guess not team, but my friends decided this weekend that was the play. So let's talk about those. Let's put the leader to the side. We all know what he does. When you get your third rest mode energy with an evolve, you untap 2 energy. You're getting 5 energy on turn 3. It's very strong, and everything is already cheap in the deck. Alright, so this deck is pretty standard, except for a couple small fun things. So let's go over those. First up is our... Ooh. Oh no! First up is my 4 copies of Son Goku, FB09, 079. This is the main draw engine of the deck. Top 4 for any card with another world in its special traits. That is most of the deck. So that's your main draw engine and your main evolve target for your evolve cards. Let's get these off to the side. Also pretty standard, we got our other 1-drop Goku. This is the double rester. This switches 2 things to rest mode if your leader is Saiyan and another world. This works for yellow Gogeta as well, but also very typical for a 1-drop Goku for this deck. Some differences of this deck is I'm not running almost any of the Vegeta package. I am running this, however, as an emergency Self-Awakener, an emergency kill of a 1-drop, rest some 1-drops, kill them. And also it is another target off of Veku, which we'll talk about in a moment, as an Another World Vegeta. Finally, for our 1-drops, we have Psyche Demon, just a couple, to round out some of the 1-drop draw power of our deck. In a 50-card deck, I like 6 1-cost draws, so 4 searchers, 2 draws, gets the job done. 3 copies of the Son Goku Vegeta duo. This is probably one of the most expensive base rare cards that is in this set right now. But it is a really good card. Activate main, switch this to active mode, so you can evolve right on top of it with something else. Very strong. Very important to the deck. This is not my favorite card in this version of the list. In the prior version of the list, this was my favorite card. The Son Gohan from the starter deck, it searches for almost everything in your deck, except for the super combos. But literally every other card, I think. Except for the Psyche Demon. The Psyche Demon is not a Saiyan. So this doesn't get your super combos or your Psyche Demon. Tragic. But as a 2-cost card with Evolve, being able to trigger your leader skill for just 2 energy is very helpful when you immediately get 2 energy back. So it's kind of like you played it for free. A free 20k that draws a card, that's really good. We have got 3 copies of the Veku that you activate main, you can place this in the drop, and then you can return a Goku and a Vegeta with a total cost of 3 to the battle area. Now, the best play for this is to take the Duo and the 1-cost Searcher, as they are, a Vegeta and a Goku. But during one of my games over the event, I grabbed a Goku and 1-drop Vegeta in order to awaken, and after, in a yellow mirror match where I needed to awaken because I was getting stalled a little bit. So it's a little bit helpful there as well. This is a handy part of the deck in this particular version of the build because this is a mostly Goku version of the build. The idea is to draw as many cards as possible, and if you can turn all of your 2-drop duos into a 2-drop duo with a draw, that is just upside. And it's a 10k. Searchable off of everything in the deck. 3 copies of Son Goku 4-cost from the starter deck. On play, draw a card, then it gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. It is a 1-cost evolve, so that you can trigger your leader skill more reliably, other than just the promo or the 5-cost. Another 1-cost evolve in the deck for 2 energy. Again, you can 1-drop Goku into this. It's like you played it for free. And this version of the list likes to go very wide. So this is a body that sticks on the board and can swing every turn, draws a card the turns it comes down, and makes up for it being a 0 combo card, but still very good. The release event promo for FBO9, this Son Goku, again, it is a 1-cost Awakener. Some of the best use cases for this is if you played a Goku on turn 1, you can then on turn 2 play into this, take the life if you have to, but more importantly, rest whatever your opponent played so you can control the pace of the game as you do as a yellow player. Three copies of the starter deck Gotenks, one of them shinier than the others. This is really important as again, basically only costs 2 with the skill. If you have a 4 or more evolve on board, this counts as a 2-cost, which is really good. Another reason to have more 4-cost evolves is you can go tanks reliably. I wish I could be at 4, but the other stuff in the deck sort of needed to be at 4 before this was at 4. Otherwise, I would love to have this card at 4, just as it comes down as a 2-cost that swings for 30 and stuns something. This is an incredible card. I wish I could have it at 4, but the deck space is a little tight right now. I'm going to hide that one. This is our main beat. I don't want to say main beater of the deck, but most of you that have played SS3 Goku before know this as the main beater of the deck. The 5-cost evolve Goku. I got 1 winner copy. I was lucky enough. Well, I was good enough to win 1 ultimate battle. This format. This swings for 30 twice for a total of 3 energy. It's 2 to evolve, but you play it for 1. You evolve on top of that. If your leader skill is still active, you get that 2 back. So you get basically a 1-cost 30k swing twice. This card is insane. It is very strong, and when you swing that second time, you draw a card. The card does kill itself at the end of the turn. You don't get to keep this around, but it is more than worth it. Now, I wanted to keep this secret until right now. We are running 2 copies of the FBO9 Yellow Gogeta Secret Rare. Now, why are we running this? What's the most popular deck in the meta right now? It's this one right here. This deck is the most popular deck in the meta. This card makes it very hard for another copy of this deck that isn't running it to win the game. This came up a couple times throughout my day where I played into the mirror match. They weren't running this, and it just wins. They can't double strike you. They have to painfully get rid of each one of your life individually. And it makes it hard for a lot of decks to close out the game on you. This card was very important to the game. Well, I will talk about some plays later on. Let's finish the deck list. There's some more to talk about. We've got our 4 super combos. Nothing crazy there. 4 Warrior who defeats the evil demon. This card is so strong. Anything 4 or less is just immediately wiped from the board for 1 energy. You need to have an evolve on board, but with a lot of evolves in the deck, that shouldn't be too hard. Especially off the SCR, you get 1 energy back, pop something, or stun something big. Very important. We are no longer playing Blue Power Awakening in the list, which is worse into some matchups, but generally speaking, stopping something from attacking is just as good. So 4 of this, plus it draws a card when you use it, very important to the game plan. 3 copies of Results of Train from the Mini Vegeta starter deck. Best card in yellow, bar none. Plus 15, draw a card if there's a 3 or more on the battlefield in rest mode. Again, when you have so many things in your deck that cost 3, but are actually, cheaper. This card's incredible. There's not a lot to say. Results of Training has been in most meta yellow decks for a long time. Finally, another hotly debated, along with the SCR, is the 3-drop Kamehameha. With this version of the list, we decided that yes, we needed Kamehameha on the list, and it does come up in games. It comes up into everything except for the mirror match. So it is, if you run into BR, you very often only get them to 2. You have to double strike them. Same with Namaku, same with UI. You get them to 2. A plus 25 makes something double strike. It's very good for closing out games and everything but the mirror match. So it comes up, you're not going to play the mirror every single round. So it's extremely important to have this in our deck. As that's what the testing led us to believe. All right, I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and we'll talk about... Well, actually, all right. You know what? I'll leave it there. Let's talk about my matchups over the weekend. I have some notes. I'm going to put these right here. Don't mind me. I played in 2 events over the weekend. I played in a Masters Regional on Saturday. It was online, so it was a little different. Playing online in a hotel room was an experience, but it wasn't so bad. A common theme throughout the weekend is going to be friendly fire. Round 1, I played Klinger of Dimension Magic Games, someone I have talked to on multiple occasions and would consider at the very least an acquaintance. Seeing him round 1 sucks because I knew he was going to beat me, and he did. Playing Kefla Surge against my Nova, it is not a great matchup for me. Then I went into round 2. I played a Pan Xeno. I won in time with more life. As someone playing a control deck, you have to get over the sadness of winning in time. Sometimes that's how you have to play. You're not playing slow, but winning to, playing to live as opposed to playing to win with that sort of deck. And live I did. I had more life at the end of time. Nothing we could have done. I wasn't playing slow, but it can feel bad in an online event where we're taking time. It's like, what is that card? I can't see that. Things like that. But I played into a Pan Xeno and I won in time. And then I played a Gogeta BR. It's a blue deck in Masters, so different from Fusion World. And I lost that one as it's a deck that I didn't really know. So it was really cool. It was fun. After that, I played against a red Broly, which was the first time in the event that I'm like, oh my god, It's the first time in most of my Masters events that I'm like, oh my god, I know exactly what this deck does, because the person who taught me how to play Masters, shout out Pope Patty, played a lot of Red Broly against me for learning, so I knew exactly what to do into it, and I had a great time. Won that one. Then in my next round, I played against a Shroom and Salsa leader. I believe it was the set 12 one that he said. Oh man, I didn't know what that deck was doing. It was sending things from my drop to my warp, denying my resources. It was very strange. And he took that win. My last win of the day was against the successor Gohan from BT30. I just had the power to remove anything he played and just swarm the board and hit him a bunch of times. The last round, I played against Blue Bulma, which was a lot of fun because I've built that deck recently and I want to give it a shot. Unfortunately, I did lose. So a 3-4 record for a Masters event, a Masters regional. I'm very happy with my record there as not a Masters player, at least not really. Let's get into my Fusion World matchups, where there's a lot more to talk about. I've just got my notes there so I can see them and talk about them while I'm talking into the microphone, so pardon me. Round 1, mirror match. I went first. This was some more friendly fire. So I was hanging out with some people that I knew, people that knew people I knew, sort of things. You know, I've talked about a friend of mine, Randoms, as many people know him online. He had a few roommates, including Unix. I'm glad we got to meet and I think become friends after this weekend. At the very least, become close. We had some great games, some testing games, and then another one of his friends was from, I believe he's a Dimension Magic team member, Chad. We had a little bit of friendly fire round 1. He is the person that sort of enlightened me on how to play this version of the deck. Now let's talk into the play style. Now, prior SS3 was play 5 cost, swing twice, reduce cards in hand, win double strike. Nice and simple. This version of the deck has a lot more bodies to stay on board, and the way to win the mirror now is to go wide with things that don't kill themselves. And then on the next turn, you can play them again. You can swing with them again, reduce their hand size. And the benefit of having the Gogeta is that they don't get to just double strike you, and it's another body that sticks there. A lot of Super Saiyan 3s are running Warrior who defeats the evil demon, so they need to stun this every single turn, or it's a 40 that they kind of just have to take on the chin. So in this game, I played my duo on turn 2. He goes to his turn 2, and he cannot rest and remove it, so on my turn 3, I do some shenanigans, ending with playing the Gogeta on turn 3, and it stayed there for the rest of the game. And it was either stunned or just kept swinging. He had it stunned, I think, until the turn I went for win. But that means that's cards that he's using and not developing. Round 2, I played into a Super Saiyan Gogeta, which is a very stressful matchup for this deck, because they also have access to this card. They aren't double strikeable, so if you see this, you charge it. That's the only other time that you're like, I'm not double striking them at all. But he was not ready for how wide my board was going to be. So I was able to sort of just beat him down with how wide the board was, run his cards out of hand. It was a very long game, but I had the sustain that he did not. You got to play very defensively, and you have to play for board control. You have to go wide, play for board control. Swinging a board until they have nothing. They go into their Gogeta, you stun it, and you just keep removing cards on board. Round 3 was another yellow Gogeta deck. Again, same principles as the last one. The game's going to go long, so go wide and just keep swinging for value. The difference in this one is that I was at 1 life for a while, with 2 of my SCRs on board, just sitting there for a long time. And then my opponent would not die. I was swinging at him on the kill turn. I hit him, and I hit him, and I hit him. Or I'm swinging and I'm swinging and I'm swinging. And every single time he gives me exact perfect combo. I went like 30, he gives me 35. I go 30, he gives me 35. I go 40, he gives me 45. Results plus 10. And it's just like every single time I swing at him, he's throwing cards as combo at me. Every single card in his hand had combo power. So that at the end of the game, finally, I played a Gohan with one card in deck. And something about searchers is that it is up to for the cards that you take. So with one card in deck, I play Gohan. I look at the top one of my card, which was a warrior who defeats the evil demon, and I do not add it to my hand as that would cause me to deck out. And I swing at him for like 40, and finally, I had run his hand out of cards and gotten the win. Oh my gosh. Because he also had Gogetas. One of us had... No, I think he had 1 life and 2 Gogetas. It was insane to get through 10 life in that matchup. 1 card left in deck. What an incredible game that was. My 4th round, I played into my first Gogeta BR. And I think my only one of the day... Yes, my only Gogeta BR of the day. I did lose this game. This was after break, so I guess I was losing it after the hour break that they gave us, because when I swung on my turn 3, I was at 4 life, and I didn't awaken, so he used the Tournament of Power Arena and comboed out, and I said, oh, whoops, and then awakened immediately after. And then later on in the game, I could have played the 1-cost Goku to rest his Piccolo Searcher to remove that combo power, but I blanked and started swinging with what I had on board before removing that combo power, which at the end of the game, played the double strike card, swung for game, I gave him 105, he gives me 110. So if I had not made one of those 2 mistakes, that would have been enough combo to win. So that one is on me. I'm not going to make that mistake again. In round 5, I was a little bummed at that loss, but my spirits were still high. I played into a Namek Goku deck, and I am so comfortable in my Namek Goku matchup, unless it's Hector that's playing it, because Hector has been cooking with that deck. Shout out to Hector Swing No Combos, the Dragon Ball Fusion World podcast, but you guys already know that. This guy, it was so cookie cutter of a list, but he was just a skilled pilot, so he had gotten to that point. And my opening hand proceeded to be a couple of these super combos. I think I had a Veku, and that was the second hand. So it's like, okay, maybe I'll draw a 1-drop. Turn 1, no 1-drop. Turn 2, no 1-drop. Turn 3, no 1-drops. I kept drawing 4 costs, like Gotenks and this and this and this, and anything that wasn't a 1-drop or a 2-drop, like one of these. One of these would have been great, because I would have found something else, or at least had something to evolve on top of with that. But no. So he swung on me on his turn 3. I went first. I used the results of training and didn't draw off it, because I needed to live longer to maybe play some cards. And on my turn 4, I still found nothing. My turn 4 was I played this guy, got raw played this guy for 4, get 2 energy back, play a Gotenks. So I stun his 7-drop crit that he had put on board. And then turn 5, finally I found a 1-drop Goku, but it was way too late. That was the worst hand of cards I've ever had in my life. And sometimes you gotta remember, sometimes it's not your fault. This is a card game. There is variance. But it stings a little when we get into my last rounds. Game 6. It was a mirror match, and I went second. And it was another where... This is one... Sorry, my Gogeta game earlier, he had 2 secrets, 1 life. This game... I don't believe he was playing the Gogeta package, so I had managed to get 2 of them out. So I just kind of won because he ran out of ways to stun them, and I kept hitting him in the face with them. Very scary. And then round 7. So after round 6, I was in 15th place. I was 4-2. I was like, okay, just gotta win this last round, and we'll secure my Nats invite. I'm in 15th. It can't get worse from here, right? Give it a minute. Round 7, another SS3. He was not playing the Gogeta package. This was actually another person that I had seen at a locals. He's from a little further. I'm in Connecticut. I believe he's in Maine. If he's watching, leave a comment if you want. I've seen him in some Massachusetts events before that I've been to. Really cool guy. He goes first. So on his turn 3, he's swinging. He goes into this, and I do the thing that some Super Saiyan 3s do, where it's like, all right, I'll just go down to 1 and I'll just hang there because look how many cards I have in hand now. I have like 16 cards in hand, and you have like 12. I don't care that I'm at 2 life, because every swing I do at you now means more, because if I combo a card, you're comboing 2. I combo a card, you're comboing 2. The hand advantage is crazy. So because of this, on his turn 4, he's like, you know what? I gotta go for it. And I respect it. He swings, he swings with that, throws a results on it, throws some like 150,000 at me on that turn, and I'm like, damn, I might not get out of this. But my turn 3, I had left up 2 for 2 results of training in my hand, so I gave him his 155 with like 10 or 15, maybe 20 combo left in hand, and it's just GG's. That was, I think, the first game in that round that ended. It was a very, very quick game, but that was the sad boy hour news, where I complain about tiebreakers. I went from 15 at the end of round 6 to 17. Somehow, I guess some of my opponents had done worse in that last round, bumping me out of top 16 and denying me a cereal. Through matters outside of my own control, I do not own a serialized card from this set yet, and so I am quite devastated of that. It's hard to put all this work in. We had hours. We were up until 2 a.m. the night before the event. I was up until like 3 because I had to walk back to my hotel because there were no Ubers available. It was only like a 15-minute walk, but still, just winding down everything. We were up until like 2:30 in this hotel room with all these guys, just relearning how to play Super Saiyan 3 to get us to victory, and to have the next day, like I was losing every single game I was playing during testing. And finally, in the day of the event, I had like taken notes on one of the games that we were doing last night, and I slept on it. And then I go in and I have an incredible run. Only 1 loss was my fault. Like the break against Nameku, it's like there's nothing I could have done about that. I only had one time where it's like, okay, I need to get back in gear, and I made a couple small mistakes. Had I not made one of those mistakes, I'd have won that game. There was potential for me to go all the way this weekend, but a couple silly things happened. And for me to be robbed of a cereal because of tiebreakers in my opponent's games, it just hurts. It's like a $2,000 card. Now, I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to go to this event. I did a lot of other stuff. I saw a lot of family while I was in Florida, so I don't regret the weekend at all. It's bad beats, man. I can't dwell on it. I'm going to use this as motivation to do the best I can. I'm going to work so hard during the Store Champs season, both as a judge and as a player. I'm going to take one of these down, because I want a cereal. I want to go on. I want these cards for my collection, and I was robbed. Not by anyone's fault, but luck. Lady Luck did not smile upon me, but I'm so happy at how the weekend went otherwise. Like I said, I saw family that I hadn't seen in some time, and I really did have an amazing run. Someone in our Discord server had even said that I topped in their heart, and I appreciate that sentiment greatly. Wow, I'm getting a little emotional now. Um, like I said, it's bad beats. Things happen. I'm so happy the weekend went as well as it did. I'm just a little sad that I'm not showing you guys a serial here today because of bad tiebreakers. Hi, Editing Griffin here. Just one more quick shout out to all the guys that I play tested with over the weekend. Randoms, congratulations on your victory. Brian, it was great to meet you. Chad, it was great to meet you. Sorry about round one. Uni, glad to meet you. I appreciate everything you said to me over the weekend. And like I said, everyone, thank you so much for the opportunities that this gives me. Touch the things at the bottom of the video, and bye-bye.